I challenge you to take a journal and sit down in a comfy spot or outdoors or whatever and reflect. You're listening to Working Forward, a future of work focused podcast from People Forward Network. These episodes pave the road ahead, helping us confidently step into the future as a leader who moves people forward. Let's go. Hey, it's Nikki, Lewallen, Gregory, and this is the Dream Chase and Lead Others to Dream series. This episode is intended to inspire and challenge you and me. Let's design our ideal life, define our dreams, believe in ourselves, and go take action. Now, let's get to it. Okay, you dream chasers, let's do this thing. So, we are doing this series to help each and every individual person have dreams, take action on their dreams, and to help others around you to do the same. But I think it's important to start with why aren't we dreaming, or why are we not getting there and accomplishing, progress towards our dreams? What are some of those barriers? What's holding us back? We got to remove those blockers so that we can soar. So you think about maybe some context first. Let's start with the why. Why is dreaming important? Well, we all want to live a full, meaningful life. I don't think there's anybody that you'd ever ask. So, do you want to live a meaningful life? And they're like, no, I just don't think we're going to hear that, right? Oh, we all do. We all want to live a meaningful life and meaning-filled life. And that is, using our strengths and seeing a vision for our future and going after it and feeling like we are a contributor and feeling like we used the time that we have here on earth to enjoy it and make an impact and help other people. So all those things, right? Dreaming is important because if we didn't dream, we would just be soldiers to our regular life and, never stretch ourselves. And so I think that dreaming is really important because if we don't think bigger about our lives or define what is ideal, we're never going to get there. The first step in achieving a goal is you got to figure out what the goal is. And so dreaming is very important to help all people, live a meaningful or a meaning-filled life. What holds us back? Let's talk about those things. One, I think people don't know how to construct a dream. What is the process for me to get this clarity for this dream state or dream scenario that I want to create? I think, the other things that hold us back are fear. But what if I go after it and I don't accomplish it? Maybe like naysayers. We think, oh, what are other people going to think? Okay, all of those things, we just need to cancel. My dear coach, Tommy Richardson, taught me many years ago, when you get that monkey mind, you get things in your mind, and it's like, this is not serving me. It's not healthy. Cancel, get that stuff out of there. We need to identify, what are our blockers? And just for you to think about right now, what is your blocker to dreaming? Is it that you just don't know how? Is it that you're fearful? Is it that you worry about what other people think? What is that? And there's nothing holding you back that should be there. Think about that. There's nothing holding you back from dreaming that should be there. So the first step is to figure out what is it that's the blocker and get rid of that. I think in that, something that would be helpful, because maybe it's some of you thinking, okay, that's easier said than done. The confidence we have in ourselves and believing in ourselves needs to be there, right? So we need to be confident in ourselves. We need to believe in ourselves. There's so much goodness inside, and it might be a really good exercise for you to sit down and journal about what you're proud of. You're proud of yourself for fill in the blank. You've had a lot of days, a lot of minutes that you've taken up space on this earth, and there's been a lot of proud things to accomplish. Isn't it funny how we get so caught up in the things that we did wrong or, the failures or whatever, but there's so many good things. So I encourage you, if you need this to, help yourself, all of us should do this, like it could apply to anybody to help us gain better confidence and just build ourselves up. It's important to spend time doing that. But if you're sitting here thinking, hey, that's my biggest blocker is I don't believe in myself and I feel like I'm going to fail, I challenge you to take a journal and sit down in a comfy spot or outdoors or whatever and reflect on the things you're proud of and the unique strengths that you have. What makes you so different from other people? Like everybody has their unique things. What makes you unique and the value that you bring and the things that you're proud of, and just sit in that goodness. So, when we think about what holds us back, that clarity of a plan, right? How do I do it? Okay. So I love the life wheel. I think we're going to link out to that in this episode. My podcast, Addicted to Betterment, that I do with my husband. We base a lot of our learnings taught by my coach, Tommy, that I mentioned a minute ago, around this life wheel process. And basically what it is, and we'll link it out so that you've got a resource. If you drew a circle on a piece of paper, you cut that circle into pieces of pie, call it 8 pieces of pie. Each slice of the pie is a different hat that you wear. So, as a parent, as a spouse, as a career person, as a volunteer, as a vacation goer, as a manager of your financials, like all of the things that you're responsible for, what are those top 8 that you're trying to balance? Okay. And as you look at that, what about defining ideal in each category? So as a parent, here is my ideal scenario. In my travel bucket, here are the bucket list places that I'm looking to go. And, the way that I want to experience travel. As a spouse, the way that you want that relationship to be in an ideal scenario. Your personal growth, maybe that's another category. Like, what does that look like? Maybe you're like, gosh, well, I've always wanted to write a book, to grow yourself and go through that journey. Or maybe it's a certain certification, like, you love meditation and you want to become a meditation teacher. You see in this personal growth arena, like that ideal scenario, I'm a meditation certified coach. Okay, keep it going. Keep it going. So this is an exercise that I encourage everyone to do, no matter even if you've sat back and thought through your dreams. Like, this is just such a great reflection exercise and planning exercise. So that's the first step that I would encourage when you start to formulate dreams. Look at all of the different hats that you wear and these different buckets of things that you manage, and then start to get a picture of what would be ideal. Like, what is the most challenging or step outside your comfort zone thing in each one? To think about that and to define that, and it gives clarity towards where you want to go. Okay, so there's this other tool that I love. It'll be the second tool for this episode in helping you to gain clarity on your dreams. It's called Ikigai, Ikigai. It's a Japanese term that means reason for being. So it mixes what you love, what you're good at, what you can be paid for, and what the world needs based on your passion, your mission, your vocation, and your profession. And that's like the compilation. You'll see this diagram on the link to that, or if you just Google it. And I think sitting in reflection in this Ikigai diagram to figure out, like, hey, in each area, what you love. Okay, that's one of them. What do you love? What do you love? Like, just like you lose track of time. You absolutely thoroughly enjoy your life when you're doing this thing. It brings you such a smile. It brings you so much joy, right? Versus another arena in this is, it says mission. What's your mission? Maybe you're not super clear, but to spend time thinking about that right now. If you had to pick one mission. What is your personal mission? What is it? And what does the world need from you? Right? That's another category of, you have strengths. You have God-given strengths. I said only 2 tools. I was going to link. Okay, here's the third one. I love the Clifton Strengths, also called Strengths Finder, Gallup Strengths. I highly recommend, if you've never read that book or taken that assessment. It's so powerful because there are 34 different human strengths. All of us have all of them in us at some level, but what are your top 5 or top 10? And you look at those strengths and it's like, that is what the world needs. Like, let's bridge the gap on like, maybe where is there opportunity for you to pour in your activator strength? That's my number one, to help people, get a plan going and rolling out. What is it the world needs, and how do you bring those strengths to help them? And, for me, gosh, I love activating a plan. I love to help people get inspired. Like, they're so inspired because they see a clear plan and they're ready to go. It's actually kind of what we're doing right now, right? And once someone is clear on where they're going and they have the steps to get there, they know what is the next best step and they're on their way. I love that. And the world needs that. Not everybody has that unique skill. And I lose track of time when I'm doing it. I feel like I am contributing, which is so important to me. And dream scenario, I'm doing that most of my day. So with these exercises, I challenge you to overcome those blockers. What is standing in the way? Because they don't need to be there. Whatever's standing in the way of you dreaming is not worth it. Needs to go away. The other side is to start getting clear on a plan, because a lot of times we're held back. I hear this from people on dreaming because they don't know how. So our first step is to gain clarity on what the dreams could be. And I want you to spend some time in reflection on the life wheel and Ikigai. And if you want to dive into getting your strengths assessment as well, I highly recommend that. And before we go on with our next episode, you're going to be like, I kicked those fears or those things, those silly things that were holding me back to the curb. And I know what a dream is for me. I know my dream scenario. I know where I want to go. And man, it is empowering. It feels so inspiring to be at that place. So I encourage you to take those actions. And then we're going to come back together for our next episode on believing you can. So it's one thing to eliminate the barriers and the roadblockers and to get clear and excited on that dream. And then it is now important for us to believe that we can go accomplish the dream. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning into Working Forward. If you like what you hear, please share it with others and make sure you're following the show to not miss an episode. We are available anywhere you get your audio. See you next time.